down again. Hello. Oh,
that is actually really shocking.
I will get the music situated. Just getting that smooth transition down.
Yes, I told you my editor mojo's off with that.
Hey, we're doing the best we can here, right?
Yeah, we got to fix that. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy Christmas Eve if you celebrate. We do. So hopefully you guys have all your plans in the works and everything is running smoothly.
That's why we're running a little early on today's show. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and we'll talk a little bit about it later. But yeah, obviously a lot of cooking. There's some people coming over, so yeah, we wanted to kind of try and knock this out a little early, so we're done for the day. Have the rest of the day to celebrate.
We got a big day of cooking and planning and merriment later.
Yeah, good to see people.
Yeah, so Mom's in town. She's been at Phil's. Our mom's in town, and she's been at his house all week, and I haven't even seen her yet. And Rich, my stepdad.
You just saw her.
I just saw her, yeah.
You saw her on this call.
On camera. I saw her. So I'm excited to see them tonight and hang out.
Yeah.
And tomorrow with the kids.
Yeah. We'll go through some of our plans just on the holiday topic. I was going to, I think I did post on somewhere that we're going to do New Year's resolutions today, but I know we'll probably won't have time. So we'll probably do that next weekend.
Is it New Year's Eve?
Yeah,
do the math. So yeah, a week from Christmas Eve is New Year's Eve, right?
And we may
let's do that.
Yeah, and we may even possibly do the show earlier too, just depending on I don't know what your plans are. I know we have plans. We have like dinner with another couple and two other couples.
I don't think we have many plans. No, we don't have plans. I'll see what Mom and Rich.
We're gonna have company.
It's gonna be the four of us bringing in the new year if they can stay up that late. They're an hour ahead because they're from Florida. So are they on our time?
Well, they're going to bed at 7:30 instead of 6:30.
They do go to bed pretty early anyway. I know. I try to call Mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 7:30 there now. They're sleeping.
Well, it's 8:30 Florida time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that gives me a week to make my resolutions because I haven't made mine yet. So I will think about that for next week.
I have been thinking about it.
You have?
Yeah. I mean, I always do. I mean, I guess a lot of people do. I mean, it's a typical. Keeping them is hard. Making them is easy. Anyone can make resolutions.
Yeah. I mean, it always feels. Here we go. We're going to get on this subject, but I just want to say one thing. It does always feel like a fresh start. It's not just me saying, oh, I have to make resolutions, but doesn't it? Like I already feel it brewing. Like, a whole fresh start. Yeah. Like, okay, I was about to tell you one that just came to me, but I'll hold on.
Write it down.
It is exciting, and then by like day 19, it's all over with. But no.
Won't say that. At least day 28.
Under the carpet. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about that next week. But should we get to the recipes?
Yeah, let's get through the recipes, and then we'll talk about some holiday plans and stuff. Let me just give me 1 sec while I try to.
Well, I want to say we decided to do a pizza party theme because we finally came up with an oil-free crust. And as excited as I was over the tortillas, I'm just as excited about this crust because we have been trying. You guys have heard me in the group say like, Engine 2, I used to buy that crust, then they canceled it. I guess they're not putting them in Whole Foods anymore or any other stores. You can buy them online, but I haven't done that yet. And, I've just been buying like the thin and crispy. I like thin and crispy with oil because I cannot find them. And I haven't perfected it until now. But we've been trying. I know you've been trying. I haven't had yours, but you were like over and over. And he's like, it's not great. And then... Oh, I wanted to write down the member's name. Do you remember? I had told you Emman.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's EMMAN.
Yep.
One of our members, and they posted a link to a video either on our site or another site. It might have been the UC site. I don't remember. But anyway, it was a link to a video, and I had already watched this video like a while ago and saved it, meaning to make this pizza crust. So it was a demo. And I have the name of the we're crediting them. It's called Well Your World. It was a quick YouTube video. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. I'm going to try it. So anyway, Emin posted it. And I was like, oh, that's the same video. I'm going to try it. And he or she, I don't know if Emin is a male or female. It's a male. Okay. So he was saying, it's a pretty name. He was saying, this pizza came out great. I loved it. You have to try it. So I was like, I'm trying it. So I tried it. And so I made it like 3 times. And the first time, it was good. It was, and I could see what he meant because it was really good. But I'm like, I can perfect it because there's so many.
I can do better.
I know. That's what we do. We do that because I felt like I could. So I changed. But plus, I wanted to change a few things too. Like that inspired me, but I wanted to make it ours. So I changed. What did I do? I think the original. I can't remember, but the original had like these measurements, like they use 2.5 teaspoons of yeast, which I never put yeast in mine. So I was like, okay. And then a cup of water, warm water. I think they did date sugar. I changed that to maple syrup. And then the flour, they just did whole wheat flour. And I was like, that seems very wheaty to me. So I was like, why not do the white whole wheat flour? So I'm just walking you through the steps. So I tried it with that. It was okay. But it came out super crispy with my technique, which I had learned this from my friend Holly, to par bake the crusts. So you put them in for like 5 minutes, take them out, put your toppings on, and then bake it. It came out so good and crispy, but I didn't stop there. Then I changed it to whole wheat pastry flour because I thought that's a whole grain. It's just pounded down even lighter, and it makes baked goods even lighter. So I made it again. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It's so light and fluffy and thin and crispy. This version that I first made, it tasted like it came out of a pizza oven. I'm not kidding. Frank and I sat there devouring this thing like, I can't believe it. It was like the heavens opened up. I was like, I did it.
I was getting the texts.
I was so excited. So it is really, really good. And it's really not hard. Like, I know it's easy to just buy a crust and be done with it. I get it. I do it. But hey, if you have a Sunday and you want to make some crust, this recipe makes 4 10-inch crusts. So you can freeze them, you can even make double the recipe and freeze a bunch of crusts and pull them out. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to, because I keep testing them and eating them. I know somebody's going to ask that. Do they freeze well? So we're going to have to test that this week.
So, but in theory, you can also probably make 3 12-inch crusts or 3 12-inch and a whatever, 14 or whatever the math is.
I would shoot for thinner and bigger. So I made the recipe, like divide it in fourths and shoot for 10, but I try to make them bigger. Actually, my 12-inch crust was the best one because thinner, that's just what this is. If you like thin and crispy, that's kind of what this is. If you make them smaller and thicker, they're just going to be doughy and then they're going to taste more wheaty. So if you like that, that's fine. I'm just thrilled with the, like, almost, I know you like almost like a cracker crust. It is a cracker. I might make them tomorrow if I can find time, but I really want you to try them. I really want you to try them.
These I've not tried. So these were.
Yeah, he hasn't tried this yet. This is kind of a new thing because I saw his recipe, Emin's recipe, like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks, and we just had this idea. I'm like, if I can nail this crust, we can do this. Yeah, because it sounded so fun. And like we had said in the email, like for New Year's Eve, if you want to make a couple of these, it's really fun. I think I'm going to do that. That's what I'll do. But you guys have a solid crust now, no oil, whole grain, easy to make. The only tricky thing is you need to let the dough rise, which always kind of intimidated me, that yeast. But what is it? You just put some yeast in a bowl, let it sit there for 15 minutes while it activates, and mix it with the dough or the flour. And then you let it sit for an hour. That's it. And then roll it out. It's really easy. It's so worth the effort. And there it is.
It looks delicious. Really good.
Nice and thin. I know. It's so crispy.
And of course, it's like lunchtime.
Yeah, the taste is really good too. I changed it to maple syrup. That light flour just tastes so good. I added salt. He didn't have salt in there. I altered it a little bit. Sure. But the taste is really good. I don't know. I just love it. So anyway, my ideas for this week to come up with different pizzas. Our first pizza is BBQ Chicken-Style Pizza. And if any of you have eaten at CPK, California Pizza Kitchen, this used to be my daughter's favorite.
Yeah.
So I love when these ideas just come to me because it's like, look at that thing. Oh my gosh. It is so good. It's so good. So soy curls. You need to buy soy curls. And if you're going to make it this week, order them now. If you have to order them online from Butler.
Or if your local store has them, like I know I could pick them up at one point. They're not at my store anymore, but they might be.
Okay.
Local. But yeah, most people.
I can't find them anywhere. I order from Butler's, but
yeah.
So if you need to, you can get them in a few days. Anyway, so I had this idea of shredding them. So we saute them, our recipe for chicken-style soy curls. So we saute them first and get them nice and crispy. And then I threw them in the food processor, just pulsed it. So it shreds really nicely like shredded chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made our sweet and sassy barbecue sauce, which is delicious. And, no oil, no sugar. What does it have in there? Maple syrup? I can't remember every recipe. I just made it, but I can't remember. I think that's what the sweetener is. Let's see. Yeah, maple syrup. It's really easy. It's a long list of ingredients, but really just get everything out, throw everything into a saucepan. It's done. If you don't have time, you can buy barbecue sauce, if you want to save time. But ours is really, really good. It's perfectly smoky and sweet for this pizza. So mix a little bit of that in with the soy curls, let that marinate. And then I went on the CPK website and I saw that they use smoked Gouda cheese. And that's kind of what inspired me. I was like, everybody loves that cheese sauce. And I thought, what a fantastic combo. So I pretty much just duplicated their recipe, smoked Gouda with our version, obviously. Smoked Gouda cheese. So we make that. And you want to make that right before you make your pizzas because you really want that nice and creamy. Because, these cheeses, as they sit in the fridge, they get kind of, I'll just say it, kind of rubbery. And then you have to heat them up again, add a little water. So this is best made fresh right before you make the pizzas. You can make your crust early. You can make your soy curls early. But make that Gouda, just give it a really nice, generous layer. And then what you do is you layer on some barbecue sauce, put on your soy curls, and then we bake it. So you already have the crust par-baked for 5 minutes. Now we bake it. It's really just the cheese melts a little bit. It heats everything up really nicely because if you pre-made your soy curls, they're cold. So that all heats up. And then when it comes out of the oven, I have it down because I made them so many times. 5 minutes and 7 minutes. That's it. Done. Pull it out of the oven. The crust is nice and crispy. You throw on, I forgot the red onions. Those go on first too. You just throw on the cilantro. That's what California Pizza Kitchen doesn't do. And this combination is so good. It just gives it that freshness and killer combo.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So yeah, Phil, I really want to make that one tomorrow if I can.
Did you pre-bake them on a pizza stone or put these on a pizza stone?
No. So the technique here, I go over it in each recipe. You don't put them on a pizza stone, but we can try that. I mean, you can certainly try that, but they're on parchment paper, and we know how well that crisps things up. It's really just on a baking pan, or a baking sheet. So you put the parchment down, and then when you roll it out, you just transfer right to that baking sheet. So you can if you can fit them in your oven, you can do 2 at once, you can do 4 at once. Or I just did them 1 at a time because it's just 5 minutes. And then I just was letting them cool while I was making everything else. But yeah, it crisps up on that parchment on the baking sheet. So
awesome.
I did try a test. There's so many variables. I tried to test right on the grate or the rack. It did not work well. So don't try that. No, it didn't come out well. It was kind of soggy. It was like that parchment. It has to be on something like that, but a pizza stone might work.
Yeah, I would assume it would. I don't know. And I don't know how many people have pizza stones either. I know we do, but we never did up until one point. And I think someone bought it for us for Christmas or something one year.
Yeah, I have one.
No, we always use it.
Frank is always asking me, are you using the pizza stone? Well, I don't know why. I will experiment with that because, maybe it would be like super, super crispy. The thinner, the better. So try to shoot for at least 10 inches when you're rolling it out, but I would even go for 12 if you can. It just, if you've ever done it before, it gets a little bit tricky. You have to go around in a circle Oh, that's the other thing. If you have a big flat spatula, as I was rolling, I don't press too hard. I'm going to do a video of this week, a demo, so you can see how I do it. But you don't press too hard because then it will stick. So I was just lightly rolling it and then sticking my spatula underneath just so it doesn't stick as you go.
What about what about rolling it on parchment?
That's a really good idea.
I am full of good ideas.
Yes, let's do that. Okay, I'm trying that if I make these tomorrow. That is such a good idea because it won't stick to that.
Right, and then you can just lift it and should be able to peel it right off.
I wonder if we have to, though, somehow secure that down because if you're rolling, it's going to be rolling all over.
Moving, right, yeah.
That's a great idea because it won't stick.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll test that.
Yeah.
I'll test it tomorrow. I don't know if I don't want to promise you this pizza because I don't know if I have time.
Oops.
Okay, you can go to the next one. That one is, I think that's our showstopper. It's so good. But we have our beloved family recipe. So we call this Escarole. I don't know what you call it.
Escarole.
Escarole. It's Escarole, and I know most of you have heard of it. It's a leafy green, a bitter green. It's in the bitter green family. And I guess my grandma, Italian grandma, used to pronounce it Escarole instead of Escarole. So we call it Escarole.
I never even knew there was an E.
No. You almost thought it started with SH.
Escarole.
What's Escarole? And even when I say Escarole, it does sound funny. Escarole. I feel like I'm saying it strange.
There was a D in there.
Escarole. Yeah, Escarole.
Escarole.
Isn't that so funny? Italians. Escarole. So anyway, our Aunt Lucille used to make this for Christmas for sure. Every year, and it was her thing. Just like we told you last week, our dad and Uncle Billy was the calzone. Aunt Lou would come with the big Escarole pizza, and it was so good. And she used a top crust, so it was like kind of like a calzone. It was like stuffed, and I don't know. I might be remembering it wrong because it has been a while. But
no, that's right.
Yeah, but I think it was pretty stuffed. I think it was thinner than the calzone, but
yeah, definitely. No, it wasn't stuffed. Yeah, it's not stuffed like the
stuff
calzone.
Like that.
It was definitely thinner, but yeah, it had a lot of greens in it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think she used black olives. If Carol's here.
Yeah, she did black olives, but
I used Kalamata, but I think she used like regular black olives.
Yep, she sure did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking those wrinkly ones would be good too. You know, those super
Italian dry olives.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Those are oil cured olives.
Oh, they are.
They are delicious though.
Those would have been good. Shoot. Well, Kalamata was delicious anyway, but okay. So you could replace them with black olives if you want, just the regular in water. These were in water though. I like Kalamata because they're really tangy. Mm-hmm. And I felt like they added a really nice flavor. So anyway, that was that. Oh, Aunt Lou also put walnuts in it. And then when Aunt Lou passed away, our cousin, her daughter, Carol, started making this and bringing it to our family parties. And Carol took out the walnuts, right?
No, she kept them in. Well, and again, like with Carol, she'd always said, like, I never really cared for it myself.
I didn't either.
But she carried just the pizza. She didn't eat it, but she kept making it because everyone else wanted. Because everyone else
didn't care for the pizza. I didn't know that. I thought she didn't care for the walnuts.
No, she didn't. She just never was a fan growing up. And I'm like, but your mom was the one that made it. Like everyone loved it.
She's like, I know. I'm so sick of this pizza. I can scream. I never want to see it again.
Then when Aunt Lou stopped making it, Carol picked it up, and she would make it without having any. Like she would just make it because everyone loved it so much.
Well, yeah. I mean, I loved it, but we only got it once a year too. But it was really good. I mean, we always made our soup that our mom made, escarole and beans, which we have on our website, which is fantastic with white beans. We had that all the time. And so I feel like we grew accustomed to the taste of escarole and we liked it a lot. I mean, it's really good. So it is a bitter green, but it mellows. I don't know. I even know if I ever tasted it raw, but I do know that it's not super bitter. Would you say it's slightly bitter?
To be honest, I don't know if I've ever had it raw.
But I mean, like just eating it sauteed like this.
Oh no, I don't think it's bitter at all.
No, so whatever bitterness, it does go away. Yeah, it's not bitter, but it is in that family. So it's just really nice. Just like if you like sauteed spinach, it's the same thing. It's heartier than spinach, but it's not as hearty as kale because it does get nice and soft. But it's like it keeps that nice consistency. It doesn't melt away like spinach does.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good. So we put a lot of garlic in it. We love garlic, and then our almond parm, which if you've had on our pizzas, everybody seems to love that too. I love that too. So we mix some of that in there for cheesiness. So. And all we do is make all that on the side. And then when your pizza's done or your crust is done, pop it on top and then just put it back in the oven for the 7 minutes. And that's really just to heat everything up. And then the crust finishes cooking. So, I was thinking of making that one maybe tomorrow.
Barbecue and
I don't know. I want to make them all. They're all so good. I'm going to try to make them all on New Year's. Okay, and our last one is pizza alla Puttanesca, which if you've had Puttanesca sauce, you know that it's really bold and it's really spicy and flavorful, tangy. And I don't mean spicy hot. I only put I think a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. You could leave them out if you don't want it hot at all. It's nice if you like a little bit of heat. It's nice to have a little kick. And then this has capers in it. It has Kalamata olives again. And I used fire roasted tomatoes for the sauce because all those flavors together just give it such a nice, robust, hearty sauce flavor. So if you like sauce, this is your pizza because look at how thick that is. It's like a nice, thick, saucy pizza. And then we just put on the cashew mozzarella. And this one you can make earlier because really I wanted this to be about the sauce. So I didn't want to do a layer of cashew cheese, but you can if you want to. I like the dollops. There's something really nice and melty about it when it's really saucy and then you get a bite of that cheese. But yeah, you could put it over the crust if you want, like in a layer. That would work. And then fresh basil is just always really nice and it makes your pizza look really pretty. And this crust is like sturdy. It holds up to the sauce and the cheese. It's not like a flimsy. It's a, nice crust.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Beautiful.
Yep. Super delicious. Just pick one out or make all three. I think you guys are going to be really happy with this crust. And, you can always go back to our basic pizzas, which is in the Kickstart for you Kickstarters, and just follow those recipes too. Just use this crust. Everybody can try this crust. So good.
Awesome.
All right.
I'm getting some feedback. I don't know why.
I thought you were going to say I'm getting hungry. I'm getting
hungry.
I know.
I'm just not. I can hear myself coming back on the computer.
Oh, is it mine again? Okay. Maybe it's my mic.
Hello?
Hello?
No, it's weird. I got to go back and look and see if it comes back on the video. Yeah, there we go. No, it's not. I don't know. It's probably just the position of that mic, I guess.
I moved it way over.
Yeah, if it's too close. So I did want to mention, so we had some Christmas deals last week just with the Kickstart and the meal plan. So let's see, I was looking through them. So the Kickstart will discount the Kickstart down to $10. If you're watching this show today, it's going to be this weekend only, the little Christmas Kickstart plan. Let's see if I can find it here. There we go.
All right.
So I did have a different, it was almost the same, but I think I was got to think of new names for all these things every time. And there's only so much. I don't want to make it too long.
Christmas Kick, that's cute.
So, but I think it was Christmas Kick like 2021 last week or something. It was something. It was on the last one. But this one's only good for this weekend. So it'll be $10 for the Kickstart. If you're not familiar with it, so it's just to kind of get people started. We are doing just a large group, a New Year's resolution group starting on January 3rd. The group is building. We're having a lot of people, so it should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get back into doing the groups.
I feel like I can't wait either.
I know, kind of chomping at the bits. And that was kind of part of the whole thing. I knew a lot of people, might shy away from it just with the holidays coming up. I know a lot of people were buying Kickstarts and just asking, hey, when's the group going to start? So take advantage of the code if you want to get in the Kickstart. It's only $10. And if you want to have someone come with you and join as well, or if you have a friend or someone in your family, or you want to give one away for Christmas, I'll do a 2-for-1 if you buy one this weekend and then email me. Do I have my email address? Jeez. Oh yeah, here we go. You can email me here and just say, hey, I bought the Kickstart. I'll look you up. If you did, I'll create another account for you. You can get 2 for $10. That means only $5 each. And the same deal as last year. We have kind of an ongoing Christmas one for the meal plan. Just put the code down here, the Christmas blowout, which is also $10 for up to 2 months. So if you want to try some of these recipes, the recipes we just talked about, you do get access to the whole database of all of the recipes since we've started. So hundreds of recipes, and then you get at least 3 new three new recipes every week as well.
Yeah, all of our past recipes.
Which is great. And just like on the site, like people are posting and it's like, oh, that miso soup. And then I see it and I'm like, oh, that looks so good. Like I haven't had that for a while. I've been making so much new stuff, just with the Christmas and everything else. Like now the new stuff that we're doing now, that's like, that old stuff. I want to, maybe I can make some.
We're either creating our own recipes. I mean, they're all our recipes, but we're either like Phil and I creating them, like I did this crust and these pizzas, or we're testing Julie's, our recipe developer, we're testing her recipes. So it's hard to go back to our old ones. Although I did make the crispy tofu last night for dinner. I made the salad.
Yeah.
So that's always so easy because I always have tofu in my fridge and it's just like, oh, it's so easy to throw that salad together.
Yeah.
Make the dressing super quickly and crisp up the tofu. And it's so delicious. It's just like my go-to last minute when I'm tired. I was wrapping presents all night. So yeah, but yeah, I don't go back to a lot of the old ones. It's fun to kind of scroll through and it's like, wow, I haven't had that in so long.
Well, tonight's dinner is going to be a bit of a mix. So I figured I'd make, so I'm going to make, I knew I was going to make a pasta. So I just kind of went through the pastas. I know Mom and Rich have been kind of guinea pigging some new stuff this week. So tonight's as well, and I'll talk about it in a second, but I think I might do the pasta with vodka, the vodka pasta. And then I still have gravy left over from the other day. We had pasta, more pasta. So I figured I would just have some regular and then some of the vodka. So if someone didn't like the vodka, they can have the regular. I'm going to remake just kind of round two on the beef seitan roast. And then I'm going to make that into some Italian, the Italian beef sandwiches.
Yum, I can't wait.
I spelled it phonetically in my notes here. So
you did it. I was wondering. Sometimes he says seitan.
Sometimes, all the time. So we'll be kind of testing that. I wanted you to test this roast and and obviously the gravy for that. I think that's killer already, but you may want to tweak it out. I'm also making like a new broccoli dish. We'll be doing like a big salad. I'll make a couple of different dressings for that. Probably, the Caesar or the ranch or, maybe something else. We'll see. And then Amelia's going to she's making some sort of, I think she's making a big vegan trifle. I wasn't too familiar. It's like one of those cake where it has layers. It has like pudding and like cake and, like different layers, like a big.
Oh my goodness.
Trifle.
I've never even heard of it. I'm looking it up right now. Ooh, that looks pretty.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of different ones. So
pretty.
But she's like, before she left, she's like, it's going to be vegan, but I don't think it's going to be SmartyPlants worthy. So I'm like, that means like either some butter or some oil is going into it.
No, not butter. Oh,
well, vegan butter.
Oh, okay.
Plant-based butter. We buy that. All the kids like that.
I'll have it if it's Earth Balance or whatever.
Right, that's what it is.
Okay.
So mom eats that too. Mom switched over to the plant-based butter.
Did she?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
So that's on the menu right now, and I know we have like some cookies and things like that, just regular stuff. I know there's some, it's going to be the non-plant-based people are going to be outweighing the plant-based people by 1. So I'll have some regular stuff too. When my mom invited Josephine or whatever, she's like, should I bring some salmon or something? I'm like, no, we'll have food. Don't worry, everything you can eat. Don't worry.
Some salmon.
Like, yeah.
Oh, you mean for herself? Oh,
yeah. Like she'd make it, or a bird. She was making some jokes about bringing food.
That's cute.
Like, don't tell her not to bring anything. She'll be pleasantly surprised. So that's the plan for dinner. And like I said, the only thing I really prepped. What did I prep yesterday? Oh well, I have the roast made already, so that's in the fridge.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I mean, really, what's nice about this is pasta's always easy. It's just a matter of blending the sauce and getting it ready to heat up. That's super easy, and then I can just kind of toss it on. The beef, all I have to do is I'm gonna make the gravy now and just let it kind of simmer. All you do is drop it, drop the seitan in it, and then use a little of the juice, on the bread.
Oh, I can't wait to try that. That sounds.
And then mom will probably help me get the salad together and whatnot. I know we're eventually run out of time to get everything done, especially when people come and then we're, hey, let's have a drink and we're talking and so what I usually do on these types of things, I mean, I try to prep as much as I can. Like I said, I didn't prep too much yesterday. That roast I knew I had to get done, so I'm going to prep everything now. But yeah, once people come, it's like I don't want to be working anymore. I don't want to spend the whole time in the kitchen. I want to get things done. So usually I have like a list, drop the pasta at 5:10. You should start the gravy at 5:15. So I'll set my alarms all day, and as they go off, preheat oven. I don't know, I can't. It's hard for me to keep track of all that, especially when you're cooking 4 different things.
Yeah.
Like I get a plan together, set up all those alerts, and then as they go off, I just start doing them, whatever they are.
Right. You pre-plan and then just follow directions. That's like the best way. That's the hardest part of a holiday dinner. It's the timing. And I'm just somebody who likes to have things warm. I don't like anything that gets cold. I know there's people who set out buffets and they just let it sit and people can just pick. And I'm fine with it because I've been invited to plenty that are like that and I'm fine. But when it's mine, for some reason, I want the food warm or hot, and it just drives me crazy when I'm scrambling to get everything out and this stuff's getting cold. I'm just like who wants cold mashed potatoes?
I know.
So that's a trick. That's a tricky little thing to plan.
It is. And the bigger your dinner is, the more people that you're having, the more dishes you make, the harder it gets. You're trying to get rolls hot and you're trying to get this hot and pasta cooked and the oven, this has to cook for an hour, whatever it is. It's like, holy cow, there's a lot going on. So yeah, that just all the alerts on my phones, just kind of saved me in that regard. I have a piece of paper and I write them all down, and then I set all the alerts, with the paper.
And that's where our meal prep comes in handy because you can prep all these things ahead of time, and then just like if you're making our lasagna, let's just say you just layer it up, put it in the fridge, and then you can just pop it in the oven, right, whatever it is, 30 minutes before. I'm talking about the butternut lasagna. Or whatever, all these things we can make ahead of time, like the components. So you're just like assembling them.
Yeah, I should be able to make almost everything and just kind of get it ready for all these dishes as far as like the main, whatever that component is, whether it's the vodka sauce, get it ready to go, heat it up and pour it over the pasta, like that.
Right.
It's just like that.
So they're having pasta tomorrow. You'll be having more pasta because I'm making the stuffed shells. That's a little different though, because it's stuffed with the ricotta cheese. So yeah, I'm gonna make a big pan of those, and
I saw Belinda just made those. She posted.
I saw that. I know, that was so exciting. She really liked them. I know, that was great. Yeah. Love that. So I'm gonna make that, and then what I'm gonna do is make the gravy today, and then I'll probably make the ricotta tomorrow morning, and then layer everything beforehand for anyone gets here. I'll just have that whole pan ready to pop into the oven. And then I'm making stuffed mushrooms for an appetizer. And those were was that the Christmas menu?
Yes.
Christmas menu. So I'm making the Italian sausage crumbles right now. I mean, I just prepped everything. My tofu is draining. So when we're done here, I'm going to go make the sausage. And then I'm going to wash all the mushrooms. I don't really wash my mushrooms, do you? I just brush them off.
I use a paper towel and just get,
That's what I do. Like maybe even a damp paper towel. So I'm going to prep all those, pull out the stems. What else? I don't know. I'm just going to do as much as I can ahead of time. And then I'm going to have a big salad. I'm going to do the arugula salad. And what else am I making?
Pizzas.
Hopefully the pizzas. I have all the stuff to make the Escarole Pizza. Yeah. If I get up super early, I'll make the pizzas. And then I wanted to make a couple of our nut cheeses. I want to do like a big charcuterie board. So I bought olives, and I have our crackers that I made, and olives. And I made the party nuts last night.
Good.
trying to hide them because Frank loves those nuts. He already ate a big bowl, and I'm like putting them off on the side. So yeah, I want to do one of those. I know Phil does not like when I kind of have a tendency to overdo the appetizers. He does not like that. People. So Frank always warns me, your brother doesn't like a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, you put a lot of effort into the pre-dinner, and and the dinner. Don't get me wrong. See, I don't like tonight. It's just like, I just get some crackers, like get the cheese. I'm gonna put out some of those nuts. Like, yeah, it's like a lot with the dinner. I'd rather people focus on the dinner, when I cook it, rather than fill up on the appetizers. But yeah, I mean, it's always good when I'm there. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I love it, and that's the problem. And I just end up eating too much before dinner because then you're hungry. Like I don't know.
Well, honestly, those stuffed mushrooms. If I have a couple of those, I'm kind of full. I have to wait. Right. I'll have like 2 shells, and I'll be stuffed. So yeah, I'm excited for Mom and Rich to try those shells.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think that's all I'm making. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something, but that might be all I'm making with the salad. I think that'll be enough with the stuffed mushrooms, the pizza, the salad, the stuffed shells. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like plenty.
That's enough.
That's the problem sometimes too, is you don't think you're going to have enough, because even that we have 9 people here, including the kids. And I'm like, well, I said I should make like 2 boxes of pasta, and Mom's like, that's way too much, and I'm like, I don't know, for 9 people, that doesn't seem, that's 4.5 people per pound. Yeah, maybe a little bit more, too much. I don't know. I have a tough time with that. Just judging like the volume of food sometimes, and it's just like, you made way too much.
I say I always go make more than not have enough. I do not like running out, and so sometimes the kids surprise me and they eat everything, and I'm like, gosh, why didn't I just make it? Why didn't I just make more? And now it's too late.
Well, and in the end, I know Steve will take pasta home. I even have like some calzone. I put it in the freezer just to see how it would freeze. The other day, I've eaten more calzone in the last 3 weeks than I have in my entire life collectively.
Wait, hold on. Is there a piece for me?
Well, it's frozen. So like I froze it the other day because
that out of the freezer. I'm coming over soon. I really want a piece.
Yeah, I have to take it out. I just don't know how it's going to be. Like I've never froze it, but it froze with the crust. I'm just not sure how it'll be. But
yeah, this will be
I figured I'd send that home with him. He'll take the leftover pasta. He'll take, he loves leftovers. He'll take as much as he can get. So I'm like, all right. And maybe even Josephine would take some home. If she wanted to take some pasta or whatever. So yeah, I have no problem making a little too much rather than not enough.
But, yeah, that's always better, I think.
So yeah, I just I just jotted a few things down just on our just as we grew up, just kind of what Christmas and Christmas Eve was. So it was always a big thing. I mean, as kids, and Christmas Eve was always bigger to me than Christmas Day. As far as the event, Christmas Day as a kid, it's like opening gifts. Yeah, that was all fun and exciting. But I always look forward to Christmas Eve. Like that.
Well, for us, so we have our big Italian family. And then my mom's side is not very big. It was just my uncle who lived in New York and my grandma, really. So, and then it was Skip and Marilyn would come, and Ev's kids sometimes.
Well, let me just correct you. My mom's family is massive. The people her immediate family was small. My mom has 54 first cousins and like 108 second cousins or something crazy.
But they're all spread out.
Yeah, they're all over.
So many, we didn't even meet all of them.
Yeah.
Like all of her cousins who had like 10 kids and 10 kids each. You're right. That is a massive family. But our grandma only had, she had 3 kids. My mom had a sister who died when she was really young, when she was 9. So really, it was just the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And Uncle Bill lived in New York, and so I don't remember him being there all the time for Christmas.
No. But he came occasionally. He's in some photos.
So it was really small at Grandma's house for Christmas. So we'd open presents at our house in the morning, go to my grandma's for dinner. But Christmas Eve was our big Italian family with all of our cousins. And when we were little, I just remember a lot of singing and we said, like the calzone and the Escarole Pizza and all the table of food. My grandma was there. We would sing songs and just be funny, fun. My family is so funny. Everybody would be laughing and loud. Yeah. Everybody's very loud.
Well, what's funny was so yesterday my cousin Marianne sent a group text, and it was a reel-to-reel audio recording of our family from it was either 1957 or 1959. She couldn't make out which year it was. But it's funny because like people were singing, they're laughing, you hear them talking about. It's like, here's my, your grandfather sings 3 songs, and then my uncle Sonny sang a couple, and it's just like, and as we're listening, it's like, oh, it's so funny. Like they would, like someone would just sing, like someone would be in the middle of the room singing while the party was going on.
I heard somebody say, "Steve, get down," or something. Did you hear that? Somebody said Steve.
Yeah.
Might have been Dad. But our dad was in it, and he was funny. I know.
But it's just funny, like, and I'm thinking like, oh, that'd be great to have video of this. But they're all just standing around with like some sort of recording device, and there's just a lot of singing. And I'm like, it's funny, like they used to just sing, like, and then they had Marion's like, oh, and the accordion player and the guitar player were there, and I'm like, they hired an accordion player and a guitar.
Auntie Marie's party? Was it Auntie Marie's party?
Yeah, it was like a birthday party for Auntie Marie.
Auntie Marie, my grandma's sister.
And then as I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, like when we were kids, we used to sing too. Like they passed around lyric sheets, and we'd be singing Christmas carols, and someone would have the camera. Like I have some of that video of like when we were in the 80s, like when we were in our teens or our early teens of.
We would all pack in a grandma's house. Remember, we'd all sit on the floor and sit on top of each other.
Yeah, but they used to sing. But yeah, it was funny just to hear that and them talking, and just have it at a party from like 1957. And,
yeah, that Frank and I listened to the whole thing too last night, and we were thinking the same thing, like, wow, just that spirit to all be singing. Aunt Gail started singing.
Yeah, I know.
So young. I've never heard a young Aunt Gail. Like she was like in her 20s, I think, or wait, no. She was older than Dad, because I figured out Dad was around 30.
Yes. Yeah.
So she was in the other generation. Yeah, she was older. She sounded so young though.
That was funny. And it's funny because I haven't heard her voice. I mean, she passed away. No. I mean, what, in the 80s or the early 90s? It was a long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
But as soon as she started talking, I'm like, man, I think that's Aunt Gail.
I knew it
too. That's her. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Oh, Baba's singing voice. Oh my gosh.
Well, then Mom said, that can't be Baba. He was so subdued and like so quiet. I'm like, Mom, he was 50. He was 50 when this was happening. Like,
it was Baba. And you know what? Uncle Billy sounds like Baba. I don't remember his voice particularly. I was only 7 when he died, so you were only 4 or 5. But I don't remember his voice. I remember him being subdued too. But this was before Mom's time. Dad was only Mom wasn't there.
Yeah, didn't do it for another 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. But Baba, Marianne said it was him. And I don't know. I heard Uncle Billy in that voice, so I know where Uncle Billy gets his his sound from.
Sure.
But do you remember Jimmy Justo and I remember Jimmy doing it. They used to, or maybe no, it was Jimmy and Dad. Dad used to do this. They used to sing that song, and I think it was either Happy Birthday or Let Me Call You Sweetheart. And at the end, they would go, That's it. I heard Baba do it.
I know. I said the same thing when we were listening to it.
It was
so funny.
I was like hearing Jimmy and Dad do that. Ayo, and I'm like, oh my God, it was Baba. I loved it. It was like so fun because our dad passed away. How many years has it been now?
16.
So, I haven't watched any of the tapes. Again, I've been meaning to get those tapes transferred, through the last 20 years, my daughter's whole life, basically. I haven't. So I haven't seen my dad or heard his voice since he died. So to hear him as a 30-year-old, I mean, that was fun.
Yeah,
just to hear him, he was just always a jokester. And even then he was making jokes. He just sounded jokeful,
Well, then I was thinking, so like we have, so obviously there's audio recording. Someone had audio equipment and was recording these parties. I heard another party, Uncle Billy, and geez, it might be the same one now. I don't know where they got where Marion got it, but Uncle Billy brought over a tape years ago saying, hey, here's an old party that was recorded. It's audio.
Wow.
But we also have video. We had 8mm. Didn't someone think like, hey, let's set up the audio and record this and the video, and then we could play it while we watch the movie? But no one ever did.
Dad was so good at that, but probably not then. I mean, he was only 30, So I wonder what did they have in the 50s? I mean, they had video recording equipment, but did they have it?
Yeah, I don't. Looking back, like I know like it goes back to like when Mom knew Dad, but I don't know how far back, like what year our old movies go back to, Steve and Deb were little, and so that was in the 60s.
Remember when I cut that anniversary tape for Mom and Dad? We have Debbie Debbie was like, remember she was staring at that cake? She was about 12, so I can't remember seeing Debbie any younger than that.
But don't they have like pictures? Isn't there a video of like mom and dad when they were dating and they like went to some beach or something? Or like they all went. Uncle Alan was in. I thought so.
Get Mom, bring her in here. She's behind that door right there. She's listening. Yes.
And behind door number 1,
Carol McCann. No, I remember those pictures. I don't remember I don't remember video.
Yeah, I think there was some videos.
Me as a baby.
But it'd be interesting to see like what's the earliest year they had video.
Yeah.
Because even having that, like, I mean, I have friends like, nah, my parents don't have any video from when they were younger, like nothing. Mom and dad recorded like their New Year's Eve parties from the 70s and like Christmases, all of our birthdays. I mean, we have videos of all of our birthday parties, our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, like all those.
Yeah, we were little kids. So dad, when we were born, that's when he started, I think. I mean, like really taped everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's
all the Christmases, from 1972 or, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of them. So it is great. And I always tell my kids that, like, it's fun, like, knowing, like, eventually down the line, you're going to be and who knows what's going to happen. But in the end, you're going to be a grandparent, a great-grandparent, a great-grand. Imagine having, like, video of, your great-great-grandparents and they're talking and at parties and, as kids, whatever it is. It's like not starting here, going down, you have video and audio of all this stuff. Everybody's going to get recorded. You'll be able to go back and see family that's been generations in the past.
But what I'm a little bit worried about is because we made it like it was such a cherished thing. Like we made a big deal. When my dad would pull out the video recorder, it was this big and a big light, have it on his shoulder, lugging this thing around. And it was a kind of a big deal. So he would label all the VCR tapes and put them all organized. Remember, he had the black mask or the masking tape with a black marker. He'd label everything. Nowadays, I think I'm a little bit worried with how easy it is to make videos. So you make them and they're gone. So are these kids like saving them? Maybe Amelia is downloading things but I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm saving them. So I download all my photos. I download all my videos. And it is, I guess the difference is, right, we would use to break out the projector and the screen. And here's the reel. And here's Christmas. And we'd watch it.
It's special if you have, what do you have? Oh, Amelia did tell me that you're really good at saving things and documenting. We were looking for pictures the other day. She's like, my dad will know. I'm terrible at it. I save them all. But
and which picture were you looking for?
Yeah, keep that quiet.
But yeah, I think on the flip side, there's so many, and they're some of them are 5 seconds, some of them are minutes, or whatever. It's not like I record hours, but sometimes there's a 20-minute scene of something, a birthday party or whatever. But now there's a folder of 10,000 videos, and it's like, oh, you got to click on. It's like, oh yeah, not this one. Oh yeah, not this one. Like you don't know what's what. You got to catalog them, put them together.
Right. You got to be diligent about organizing them, and I am not. So maybe New Year's resolution. Maybe that's one of mine because I would love to have all those organized. Yeah. But maybe from this point forward, like I don't have any grandkids yet, so maybe from this point forward, I will be diligent about that because that would be really nice to have them,
I just like to put like all their stuff, all dad, like I got a box of tapes that dad made, and it's it's everything from the kids' first birthdays or whatever's Vincey's play and Vince, whatever, like my nephews and nieces stuff, and, all that stuff when we haven't before we had kids,
we haven't seen them in years.
What I did when my daughter was born, I did a great I had some forethought. So my dad had one brother and three sisters, right? 3.
Yeah.
And they would get, they all lived close. They all lived around, and they would get together constantly, weekly almost, have coffee, have dinner, whatever it is. They're coming by for dessert. Everyone's coming by. So one time my daughter was born, I brought her by to see everyone. No one had seen her yet, or at least a few of them hadn't seen her yet. So I was just stopping by, and I had my video camera, and I just set it up on the counter. As they were talking, it was just them telling stories it's about an hour and a half of just my parents and my aunts and uncles just telling random stories.
Which aunts and uncles were there?
So everyone was there except for Aunt Lou and Uncle Ray. So it was Auntie Mary Jane, Auntie Dorothy, Uncle Billy, Aunt Shirley, Mom and Dad, and me.
Wow.
And Amelia. And I
Oh,
was kind of prompting them. I'm like, Uncle Billy, what happened on that boat that one time? Oh my God, that boat, or like the ice box. That like, there's so many stories that I love that I've heard a million times. So I was kind of just getting them to say some of those stories.
Look at him recording them without them knowing.
No, they knew. I mean, I said that. It wasn't like I had a hidden. It's not like I was wired for sound. It's like infiltrating of that family.
I want to see that.
Yeah, that's great. So it's just funny. Just they're laughing and telling stories. And, yeah, it was great. So.
That was our childhood because every Saturday night they would, mostly at our house, it seemed like it.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
All the brothers and sisters, which would be at least 10 of them or more, they would play cards for like pennies pretty much. But they would play cards. They would have coffee and cake and for hours into the night, so like 2, 3 in the morning. But my aunts and uncles and our parents would sit around and they would just laugh and tell stories. And it was just Phil and I would be sitting there taking it all in.
Judy and I would secondhand smoke 2 packs that night.
They all smoked so much back then.
Cloud.
They all pretty much quit as they, became known that this was very dangerous. But cigarette smoke is a big part of my childhood memories. Yeah.
Whether it's at someone's house or on the car ride home. So actually, someone I'm in like a Gen X group, and someone just posted about like secondhand smoking. How many packs of cigarettes did you secondhand smoke? I'm like, especially in the car, that vent window did nothing in the car. That little
it would crack the window, and Mom and Dad would both be smoking. And I definitely remember being like, I'm getting a headache. Roll down your window.
Get the vent open. You're fine.
I'm blowing it out the window. You're fine. It's like, oh my gosh.
Now I'm freezing and still smelling it.
Oh, we all smelled like smoke. Well,
just getting back to it. Yeah, I mean, just those get-togethers. On Christmas Eve, that was the big one. The whole family was there singing songs. A ton of food. The calzone, the pasta, the Escarole Pizza. Lasagna, shells, gavadills, and gnocchi. Like it was just always like a feast spread for whatever it was. Desserts, pizzelles and tadals and rosettes. Mom would be making rosettes in that pan. Yeah. So it was always like a huge thing, man. Music and food and family. It was always just so much fun.
What, where, when.
Yeah. Little family. Well, it wasn't a family game. I guess other people. I don't even know if other people played that. Who knows?
I remember we would go in the back room and play with Marianne and Ricky.
Sometimes. Yeah. But was that something we invented? That couldn't have been invented. Like that had to be a thing people did. I don't know.
No, we didn't invent it. I mean, I didn't invent it. That's for sure. Hi. Hi. Here's my baby all grown up. Aw, you look so pretty, honey. Thanks. This is Hadley. Hi. That's everybody. Hi. Hi. Yeah. I love you. Call me later. Have fun.
Yeah. So it was always fun. On Christmas Day, we'd always, like she said, we'd go to my grandma's house. It was kind of small and subdued. And then sometimes we'd go to my other grandma's house after, or we might go to a cousin's house. And maybe people that couldn't go on Christmas Eve would show up, and we'd see more people. But it was always a great 2 days.
I thought about that because they would go to the in-laws and then they would come.
Right. So some of the cousins might be there, or the same people might be there. It's like, Uncle Billy and Aunt Shirley are coming back for round 2 at grandma's, our other grandma's house or someone else's.
I remember hoping that. I'd hope that so many people would be there again, so I get to see them again.
Yeah, so just some other stuff I know I had posted recently. There's just that picture of Judy and I, like when we were kids, my dad had a huge stereo, just a massive, I don't even know what you call that.
I don't know either. Looked like a cabinet, but there was a stereo inside of it.
So it had the records in it, but we would put on the Mitch Miller album, and we would literally just have the lyrics laid out. We would just sit on a stereo and just sing Christmas songs with Mitch Miller, singing along.
That was a big part of Christmas, Mitch Miller. Mitch Miller is still part of my Christmas.
The formal living room, like what we didn't really do much in the rest of the year. We'd eat in the dining room that was connected that we really didn't go in the rest of the year. It's like the unused rooms of the house. put on like those little incense cones. Let's light an incense cone and listen to sing along with Mitch.
That's Christmas. That smell and Mitch Miller.
My wife Shannon bought those at one point. I'm like, man, that like I remember that smell. Because remember, Mom had like that little brass house. It was like a little.
Yes,
like,
I loved that thing.
Yeah, you'd light it and like the chimney would smoke the incense out.
It's all those little special things that you look forward to, you know? Every
Yeah.
Christmas. Just that little incense house was exciting when that would come out. It was so special.
Yeah, that's fun. All those things, and then now, you know, I do when mom my mom got remarried and she moved away, and she had given away like, you know, hey, I have all this Christmas ornaments. So like a lot of our Christmas ornaments are things I made as a kid. You know, whether I was, you know, made it in school or I made it in CCD. I have a couple. We have like the little walnut baby Jesus. I have like a pantyhose shell manger scene I made or whatever. My kids always laugh at that. She's like, and actually, what did Amelia just say? She said something so funny the other day. God, I can't remember. Something about the little walnut. She's like, I can't remember, but whatever. But we were getting them out, you know, just hang them on the tree. But I also have ornaments from Grandma Caruso from like 1984. She was in you know, whatever. Like they would do craft projects and she would paint them and, you know, make little ornaments or whatever. But,
I have one of those.
Yeah, they're awesome. Like that kind of stuff like just brings me back. I love hanging those on the tree and just thinking about them and, you know, just.
That's what I do. And I was just telling Holly this morning. It's like, you know, everybody gets busy. And so like when we got the tree, and it's like such a cute tree this year. It's a littler one, but it's so cute. And everybody was busy, and I don't know, I was getting late, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start with the ornaments myself. And it was fun because the same thing, every ornament, like it told a story, and well, Amelia made like 3 of them, the ones I have. There's Hattie's first birthday, you know, her picture. And then you guys got us those really nice crystal snowflakes and the dates on them. One was 2005. So I was thinking about what's happening, you know, then. And just every single one. It was just another memory. I love doing that. I like just spending time with them. And when I come to your house, I like looking at your ornaments.
Yeah. And I got to say, most, I mean, we have some, you know, like, you know, whatever, red colored balls and, you know, white thing. Yeah. Most of the ornaments red are the kid things the kids made. And we all joke about them. Like the kids both have like, and they're 2 years apart. So they both kind of did the same thing. So like they have the macaroni that they spray painted and their pictures in the same. So like my daughter's name's Amelia. So we always like the macaroni Amelia, you know, here's the macaroni Amelia, you know, the you silly baby. You know, so yeah, we hang out, like most of our ornaments are that. And every year I buy new ornaments. So like this year, like they broke out, they're like, what's this? It's like I bought it was like Santa by a dumpster, and it was like the masks and hand sanitizer. It was like Christmas 2020. You know?
Oh, I want to see that one.
So every year I buy like a funny ornament, you know, to hang on the tree. But a lot of them are that. It's either stuff that I made as a kid, or my wife, or my kids made, or like I have Hattie's first Christmas ornament. You know, like
that one, yeah.
I think I stole that off of your tree.
And mine is missing.
Or like Hitchcock, my first dog. Like we still have the Hitchy ornament that Jimmy and Joan made for us. And yeah, it's just cute.
Yeah, I have the Cody ornament. Oh,
yeah, all those things. So.
That's the best.
It is. That's what makes Christmas. And sometimes, I'll just go in there, put on Christmas music, and just kind of sit and enjoy the tree. Just look, stare blankly at the tree.
It's nice and cozy. Remember all those. Isn't it? It's like such a nice, cozy feeling. And you know, hopefully, we created all those memories for our kids. And you know, I think we both have, because we have our own memories of being kids, and Mom and Dad created those for us, and just having, you know, that for our kids, and you know, for our grandkids someday. But like just the cozy, the food is a big part of it, you know. And now that we've plant powered our favorites, it's the same. I mean, like we're having stuffed shells tomorrow. It's delicious, you know. We want those comfort foods of our past, you know, of our childhood. So Phil and I are figuring out ways to do it, and I really can't wait for my mom to try them. I know she's gonna love them.
And that's part of the reason why I kind of make those posts sometimes. Like, what are you looking to plant? Like I'd like to have other people, and I know we've done some where people will be like, "Hey, you should."
What do you want us to work on? You mean?
Yeah, right, exactly. Because we do our own stuff. So people's like, calzone, I've never had that. And it's like, geez, I've had that every year of my life, the whole time. Stuffed shells. Someone else in another group posted our stuffed shells picture, and someone else said, like, what is that? I've never even seen that. And it's like, oh, it's just so funny. It's like, oh, yes, it's stuffed shells. Of course it is. But yeah, I do like, when people post like what they want to see, because that is fun, and I do want people to enjoy stuff that they remember. They can have now that they thought like, oh, I'll never have that again, or whatever that is. And even if it seems impossible, sometimes it's not like that. Like the calzone, like that is as close as I can. I had family members taste it now, and it's like, wow, that is super close. And that's exactly. Hey, that is super close. Is good for me. That brings me back
because it has all the same flavors. Yeah, it's not exactly, because we're not using sausage. We're not using pork sausage or whatever it is. Beef, I don't remember, but it's better to me because it's not oily, and also let's just say for our health, you're not taking in all that stuff. You're eating plants. We made it out of plants with no oil or processed foods. And it tastes so good. So you feel good eating it. You don't feel heavy and weighed down afterwards. And
I don't feel bad eating 5 calzones in the last 3 weeks.
I feel stuffed.
I feel as stuffed as that calzone.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's all these little things. Yeah. I mean, that's what makes it special, and family, and just, I feel like as the years go by, we lose people, and our crowd we were talking about our Christmas Eve crowd, when everyone would come, it's now after COVID, it's dwindled down to like just us, Mom and Rich for the most part this year. And you know what? That's great. We're still together, and I have to honestly say, it does make me a little sad thinking, I love those parties now that we're talking about it, and with all this does come with a little bit of sadness, but it's not, it doesn't have to be sad. It's more just like nostalgic and remembering those times with a warm heart and a just good feeling,
And that being said, I'm grateful that we're able to get together this year. Last year we didn't. We didn't see anybody. Nobody saw anybody. So I'm grateful that we're able to do that. So you got to be grateful with what you got, right? Not what you don't have. But yeah, I do have that same nostalgic feeling, and it'd be great to have another one of those parties. And who knows, maybe we will. Once we get out of this, maybe we can do that. But yeah, once you lose people, it's you're like, that's never the same. But hey, it's
part of life.
Thankful for what you have, right?
And maybe I'll bring over that Mitch Miller sing along today. Pop it on.
On what?
You have a stereo?
No, I do have a stereo. I have a huge giant stereo in the basement, just like the one we used to have.
We're going to gather in front of it.
All right, awesome. Well, I will see you today. We appreciate everybody. We hope you guys, everyone has a great holiday. We appreciate everyone watching. Like I said, if you want, we talk about a lot about our food. The meal plan we have available. If you want to test it out, we have we have these coupons. We'd love for everyone to be a part of what we're doing here. If you don't know what you're doing, join the Kickstart. We're having a huge group in January. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right now, I think we have about 120, 130 people doing the group. So the bigger the better, man. Like when we do these bigger groups, tons of people post. It is a lot of fun. So we are looking forward to it. If you are part of the group and you're watching, sit tight. I'm still sending emails out. It's been a hectic week, so I'm still trying to kind of send these out over the weekend and into next week. So I'll probably finish up on Monday maybe. But sit tight. It's still coming. I'm getting messages like, hey, I didn't get your email. So I will be on it. But hope everyone has a great holiday. Be safe out there. And we will talk to everybody soon.
See you this week.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.